What if you invested in Bitcoin 3 years ago, the cryptocurrency that's been making waves in the financial world for years? In this video, I'll reveal my Bitcoin investment from 3 years ago and show you exactly how it's performed. You won't want to miss these shocking results. So what exactly is Bitcoin and why has it been such a hot topic? Bitcoin was created in 2009 by an anonymous figure or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto. The idea was revolutionary, a decentralized digital currency that didn't rely on banks or governments to operate. Instead, Bitcoin uses blockchain technology, a public ledger that records every transaction securely and transparently. One of Bitcoin's most groundbreaking features is its decentralization. Unlike traditional currencies controlled by central banks or governments, Bitcoin operates on a network of computers worldwide. This means no single entity can manipulate its value, freeze accounts, or block transactions. It gives individuals complete control over their money, offering a level of financial freedom that was previously unheard of. Another important aspect of Bitcoin is that its supply is finite. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence, a hard cap set by its protocol. While more Bitcoin is still being mined every single day, the process of mining becomes increasingly difficult over time, and the number of new coins being created decreases with each halving event. This means that the total supply is steadily approaching its limit, with the final Bitcoin expected to be mined around the year 2140. Unlike traditional currencies that can be printed at the will of governments or central banks, no one can create more Bitcoin. This is one of the main reasons Bitcoin is compared to precious metals like gold, since the supply can be a hedge against inflation. In the early days, Bitcoin was more of a niche concept, primarily discussed by tech enthusiasts. It wasn't until 2010 that it gained wider attention, thanks to the famous story of two pizzas being bought for 10,000 Bitcoin. Back in May 2010, Bitcoin was worth less than a penny, so this seemed like a fair trade. However, those 10,000 Bitcoin today would be worth an astronomical amount, roughly $9.4 billion as of December 2024. Can you imagine spending that kind of money on some pizza? This is at the time when Bitcoin is trading over $95,000 per coin. It's a mind-blowing reminder of how much Bitcoin's value has grown over the years. Stories like this are what make Bitcoin's history so fascinating. It went from being virtually worthless to one of the most talked about assets in the world. Fast forward a few years, and Bitcoin began to emerge as a legitimate financial asset, especially during the first major bull run in 2017. When its price skyrocketed to nearly $20,000 before crashing back down. By the time I made my first investment 3 years ago, Bitcoin had already seen its fair shares of ups and downs. Some called it a bubble, while others saw it as the future of money. Personally, I was intrigued by its potential, not just as an asset, but as a concept, and that curiosity is what ultimately led me to take the plunge. Bitcoin doesn't trade on the traditional stock market, but within a highly volatile cryptocurrency world. Bitcoin is being traded 24/7, which can cause dramatic price swings. By the time I made my purchase, I had already witnessed Bitcoin's massive bull runs as well as its sharp declines. It was a risky move, and the volatility was intimidating, but I decided to adopt a set it and forget it mentality. I invested only a portion of my funds that I could afford to lose, treating it as more of a purchase rather than a traditional investment. So here it is. My initial investment was $500. At the time, I considered this money to be essentially gone, just part of a high-risk, high-reward experiment. I bought in at approximately $49,000, and almost immediately, Bitcoin went through its first major dip. Unfortunately, I bought in at what turned out to be the high point, but I decided to hold strong. There were so many people online who were bullish, telling me that Bitcoin would bounce back, and thankfully, they were right. Fast forward to today, and this investment stands at $98,000, giving me a 99.7% return. That's an incredible growth rate, considering the risks involved. If we look at the performance here, you can see that I bought in around December 2021, and since then, Bitcoin has been nothing short of a roller coaster. This is a perfect example of that volatility we talk about when discussing Bitcoin. The price can swing wildly, up, down in a very short amount of time. It's definitely not an investment for everyone. As we look ahead, Bitcoin continues to be a topic of debate. Some people think that the price could continue to skyrocket as the adoption grows, with institutions and even governments showing interest. And there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. Combined these things, this could drive the demand higher, especially with the inflation pressures that persist globally. But like we said, Bitcoin is not without risks. Many will highlight its volatility, regulatory uncertainty, and the ongoing question on if it will really become a mainstream currency or remain as a speculative asset. For now, Bitcoin stands as both an opportunity and a risk, offering massive potential rewards for those who believe in it while demanding caution from anyone thinking of investing. Whether you view it as digital gold or just a speculative bubble, one thing is clear: Bitcoin has cemented its place in financial history, and the story is far from over. As for my own Bitcoin investment, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with it. I can't see myself adding any more to this position anytime soon. My primary focus lies in the stock market, which aligns a lot better with my investment strategy and risk tolerance. The crypto world is very fascinating, but it's a bit too volatile for me, and having a significant portion of my portfolio tied up in it would drive me crazy. Also, depending on how you're investing into Bitcoin, there could also be tax implications. At the time when I purchased this, it was not within a registered investing account, which means that I would have to pay taxes on any gains that I realize. Now, I know that there is some options in the stock market with Bitcoin ETFs. For me, this is not something that I want to be chasing and having in my portfolio. Like I said before, this volatility really doesn't suit my own risk tolerance. But what do you think? What's your take on Bitcoin? Do you see it as the future of the global economy or just another internet trend? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more financial education related content.